welcome back to Star TV. On today's lovely episode, we're going to be talking about how to heal from a best friend breakup. Right before we get into today's lovely video, make sure you guys subscribe to Star TV. Make sure you guys like this video. Be sure to share your experience. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and let's get right into it. So I just want to put out there that this is a video that I've been wanting to make for so long, for so many years, but I'm like, I can't advise people on how to find, joy and growth and happiness after a best friend breakup unless I have already attained that, unless I've already found that. So I just want to say that going through a best friend breakup is so much harder than going through a regular breakup or, having a disappointment that you experience with a guy that, you're getting to know or see romantically. One of the biggest blessings in the world is to have a girl best friend who feels like your sister. You guys always FaceTime, you always go out together, you take nice pictures and videos together, you guys laugh, that's your sister, that's your safe place, that's your best friend. And I just get so happy when talking about it because I was blessed to experience that. Whether it lasted or not, I'm just so grateful that I got a chance to experience that. I got a chance to experience that as a teenager in high school, and thinking back on it, I just feel so happy. But what I can say is when you go through a period in your life where you lose your sister, you lose your best friend, you guys split up for whatever reason, that is one of the most heartbreaking and gut-wrenching feelings, and it only takes the grace of God and time to get over it. In some instances, you will never be the same. In some instances, they will never be replaced. In some instances, you will never find someone like them. You won't find someone who hangs around you and who's genuine. You won't find someone who can make you laugh like that person. You won't find someone who you guys just click. There's like a soul, it's like a soulmate bond. And I truly believe that I've experienced and I have had a soul friend. I've had many best friends, but this one best friend that I had, and we haven't spoken in many years. And of course, I'm not gonna name any names, but that was my soul friend. That was my girl. Oh my God, that was my girl. So, number one, be grateful you were blessed to experience such a connection. I know it hurts. I know that you miss them. I know that if you could go back and do things differently, you would. Before we get into it, let me share with you a clip that actually inspired this video that I'm making. I came across it on TikTok, and it was my confirmation that now, after 7+ years, it is time to speak out and it is time to help others to get through what I was going through behind closed doors.
I think it's so crazy how you can go from being best friends with somebody or lovers with somebody to strangers. Yesterday, I seen my best friend of 20 years. When I say we did life together, we did life together. And I seen her and we walked past each other like strangers. No words, barely any contact, like at all, like strangers. And at that moment, I realized, like, this is a person who I shared my entire childhood with. Like, this is a person who once held all of my biggest secrets, once knew my heart in and out, and it literally is no more, to the point that we walk past each other like strangers. And at that moment, I really wanted to like embrace her because I never imagined how it would be post our friendship breakup. I never imagined seeing her. And when I seen her, my heart initially wanted to embrace her, like I wanted to, and then I had to really like quickly get myself back together, like, India, wait, that's not, y'all not friends anymore, like y'all not nothing anymore. And even after like she walked past, I'm like, "Where she looks so good," and I'm like, I went to go like say something, like I didn't say something to her, but I had to grasp myself like, that's not that no more. And it's just so crazy how you can go from a 20-year long friendship to complete strangers. And right after I seen her, I seen my other old best friend husband, and I said something to him. I greeted him, we greeted each other, and at that moment I was just like, bro, we are literally nearly strangers. I literally made the marry me letters from hand, one by one, for her proposal. Like, he showed me, I was one of the first people to see the ring, and now we are strangers to each other. So much of me, I felt like I needed to have that encounter. It was crazy that it happened on Christmas Day, but it was so kind of like, I don't know, maybe if it was closure or just brought things to reality to me that you can literally be so locked in with somebody and y'all can become strangers, and like that's just it, and you must go on with life.
So that's the video, you guys. And what I can say is, not everyone is blessed to experience a best friend. I know it's over and I know it hurts, but you have to thank God for the years he gave you with that friend. You have to thank God that you were blessed to experience them. You were blessed to have that connection. You know what a real friendship feels like. So you know not to settle in future friendships because you had a best friend. You know it was nothing for y'all to hang out and go out. So if you have to beg your friends now to go out, those are not real friends, because you already experienced what it's like to have a best friend, and going out was never a problem. Calling each other frequently was never a problem. If you have a friend now that it's like a war for them to even pick up the phone and call you, you know that's not a true friend. I feel like it's so hard for females to form, sisterhood and find their tribe, right? It's so hard in today's day and age. So that's why I'm telling you guys, if you're going through a friendship breakup, just thank God you experienced a good friend. Thank God you experienced what it was like to have a best friend. Thank God for the times that you shared. Thank God for the memories. And when you feel nostalgic, when you're thinking about the past, think about the happy moments. Think about the things that you guys talked about that made you laugh. Smile about it, laugh about it, and know that it hurts today, but with time, things get better. You never forget these people. But oftentimes when you think about them, say a word of prayer for them. Pray for those best friends that you no longer speak to. Pray for their families. Send them love. Send them well wishes. Even if you're just keeping them in your heart and in your thoughts, think positive thoughts about them. 9 times out of 10, they may be thinking about you too, but you need to be grateful for the time that you shared. And that's a part of the healing. You're grateful for the times that you shared. You know that it's over, but you appreciate everything that they brought and added into your life. And you remember them with love and with kindness and with compassion. Let's get into tip number 2. This one is very important. Recognize where you went wrong. Now, I know for a fact in my past friendship with my old best friends, I know I wasn't the most perfect friend. Okay, I know that there are some areas that I need to work on. And like I said, those were the days when I was a teenager. I'm 27 now. So a lot of maturity has taken place. I've experienced so much more now. And I realize that a lot of the times why we lose our friends is due to a lack of communication. If you are upset, communicate that. If something comes up, communicate it. Sometimes we hold things in, sometimes we assume how the other person feels, and we act according to what we assume, according to what we think the situation is, but no one has ever sat down to have a conversation, right? Sometimes we may ignore our friends when we feel the type of way instead of communicating.
Okay, so thank you for finally meeting up with me, but
Yeah,
we got some things to talk about.
we do.
I feel like as a friend, I've been doing everything. I've been reaching out, Like, you haven't been texting me back. Like, I just want to know what I did wrong.
I just feel like at the time when I needed you, like I really needed you, like you just wasn't really there for me, you know? So I just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of backed off.
You're not the only one who's been going through things. And I know, like, we both have. And I feel like we both can take accountability to say that we both failed as a friendship when we both needed each other. Because I can say the same. Like, I needed you at my lowest, you know?
But I was there for you. I feel like I've always been there for you, you know? I feel like the one time when, like, I don't know, I don't want to sound selfish. You just, like, up and left. And I know you got stuff going on. I get that.
I know, I'm sorry, it's not going to make up for me not being there enough for you. I know we're growing distant. Like, every time I text you, like, let's go out, like, that's my way of trying to show up for you.
I don't really go out like that. You know, I did it because you like to do it.
I know. Still want to be friends?
Like, bitch, I don't fuck with the rest of these bitches, and you know that. I only fuck with you, Biggie, and Tasiki, so it even made me upset that we was beefing or I'm fighting with your mom or any of that, but I know, but bitch, you was with me for everything that happened. I don't want to beef with you.
And let me tell you, communication is so important because the friends that you have now, you may not be able to find those same friends 5, 6, 7, 8 years later. Not everyone is replaceable. Appreciate the people that God has placed in your life. Short backstory, I had a Friendsgiving this previous Thanksgiving, and I was blessed to have a friend group. And we plan things and we do things together, and they are just so funny and they make me so happy. And of course, sometimes, you know, things may happen, things may be said, and I'm like, but then I thought back to my previous best friend, and I said, okay, so that relationship ended due to a lack of communication. Let me communicate in this friendship, because this is a friend group now. Let me communicate so the things that ended former connections will not end my present connections. Let me do things the right way. See, you will never, ever learn your lesson until you see where you went wrong. You will not keep people in your life until you see where you went wrong and until you are mature enough to take accountability. Okay, I ignored friends in the past when I was upset. Now I speak to people. Now I communicate. Now I look for resolution. Now I'm busy problem solving. Now I'm setting boundaries in place, right? There's room for growth. That's how you heal from a friendship breakup. Not only are you grateful for the times that you shared and you pray for them, you love them from a distance, but now you realize where you went wrong. So in your future and in your present friendships, you're able to be a better person. You're able to be for your current friends who you weren't able to be for your last best friend or for your previous friends. It's all about growth. Let's get into tip number 3, how to heal from a best friend breakup. Realize that your life does not end when people leave, it just begins. And I know when you're going through a best friend breakup, you can feel so abandoned and so alone. And it feels like you have nobody because no one understood you like her. No one understood me like she did. No one laughed at my stupid jokes like she did. You know, no one liked to go out and get cute the way that she did, the way that we did together, you know? But you have to realize some people are in your story only for a season, only for a chapter, not for the remainder of your life. And I believe that God has books in heaven. And maybe with you and your best friend, God had her in your life for maybe a year or 2, right? And maybe that you guys are going on different paths and are no longer in alignment. So God allowed you guys to separate. God allowed you guys to go your separate ways. And even though sometimes you may miss them, even though sometimes you may want them back, Maybe that wasn't God's plan. Maybe they came into your life to heal you for a certain period of time. Maybe they came to bring you joy when you needed it. And now their assignment and their mission is complete. So now they have gone. Your life doesn't end when people leave. People are not your God. People do not provide you with oxygen. People cannot write your destiny. People don't know the beginning and the end of your story, but God does. Life ends when God leaves you, not when friends leave. And it took me a long time to realize that, because initially when I was going through a friendship breakup, with our type of friendship, we were always on and off. So I figured like, okay, like we was friends for 2 years. We had our little disagreements or whatever, but we always came back. Like we always not talking. Okay, now one of us reach out, we talking. And I found myself like kind of waiting for my former best friend to reach out. And I was like, okay, a year went by. Okay, 2 years, 3 years. Okay. And I waited a few years until I reached out. But then I'm like, it settled in. I'm like, oh, she not coming back this time. This time, this is it. And there is this post by, there's this post by Tamira that I'm going to look for on TikTok. If I can find it, I will insert it. But it's basically, it just represents how you feel when you realize a connection is no longer coming back. And when you go through something like that, you realize, treat people better. Next time, treat people better. Next time, be who people need you to be for them. Next time, communicate. Next time, show up. Next time, don't half step. Give your all. And I'm so grateful that I experienced a connection that I now realize is never coming back, because now I know how to treat my friends better. Now I know how to be present, how to be active, how to be involved, how to communicate. And now the good people that come in my life, I apologize first if I need to. I communicate first if I need to, because now I know how it feels. Now I know that when you mishandle certain people, everybody's not coming back. And those are lessons that you learn. But we know that God's grace is sufficient, and we know that God will bring good people into your life because he's a God of forgiveness. So if you lose friends, God is faithful to restore. He's faithful to bring others who will bring you happiness, who will bring you joy. And he's done that for me. He's done that for me. This past Thanksgiving was one of the best Thanksgivings I've had. Last year, I said to myself, why is it that everybody's able to have a Friendsgiving and I don't have enough friends for a Friendsgiving? And I was home. I was of course celebrating Thanksgiving, but I was a little sad. And then this Thanksgiving, I'm surrounded by so many friends and they're so funny and we had such a blast. And I said, wow, God can change your life and your circumstance in a year. You just got to trust him. Let's get into tip number 4 on how to heal from a best friend breakup. Get out there and try to make new friends to prevent yourself from being stuck in the past. And you guys, this was me. Honestly, I didn't want to make new friends. I didn't want to make new friends. When you have a best friend and that is the center of your world, even when you guys are not talking, you just have this little bit of hope that one day you'll wake up and see a message on your phone. And so I feel like for a few years, I was holding on to that hope until I realized that this was something that was never coming back. And then I'm like, okay, time to get out there and make new friends. Time to make new friends. But you have to make new friends, because if you don't make new friends, you will stay stuck in the past, right? You will stay stuck in the past while that person moves on with their life. And you don't want to be stuck in a year where you lost your friend. You don't want to be stuck in the past. You need to move forward. God has so much for you. And in order to succeed and move forward in this life, you need to have connections. You need to network. You need to have friends. You need it. Open your heart back up and give people a chance. I know that it hurts. I know that you lost your best friend. I've been there, right? And let's talk about this. The grief that comes with losing a person who is still alive. I know what it is to grieve a person who's passed away. For instance, my grandfather. But nobody taught me about the grief that comes from grieving someone who is still alive but no longer in your life. Do you know what that grief looks like? Hold on, you guys. Whew. Before I break down that grief, I need a second because that is, it's emotional. It's emotional. Girl, get it together, okay? You just did your makeup. Don't be even messing up your mascara. That grief looks like this, okay? You will see you will see someone out with their friend and there'll be like two girls out together and you'll be at a restaurant, because this has happened to me before, and you'll look over at another table and you see two girls together laughing, taking pictures, and you look like, and then it plays in your mind like, wow, that used to be me and such. Or you go on social media and everybody's posting, their best friend and, their pictures together and their videos, and you scrolling and you like, wow, that used to be me and my home girl back in the day. Or you'll be at work and someone be like, yeah, because I was talking to my best friend, and then you feel your heart kind of like squeeze and you feel your eyes start to water because you remember what it was like when you used to say, oh yeah, me and my best friend, right? And then there will be periods where, you'll be okay for a few months. And then a song will come on from years ago or something on the TV, or you will see their name pop up on social media, because that's happened to me. Like with my former best friend, I see so many, like I'll be scrolling on Instagram and I'll just see the name. It won't be her, it'll be someone else with the same name. I'll be driving and I literally see her name on the back of a license plate. Like I see her name everywhere and I was like, God, what are you trying to tell me? So I spoke to my pastor about it a few years ago, and he told me the Lord is showing you her name because God wants you to keep her in prayer. You don't know what's going on in her life, but the Lord wants you to remember her in prayer, no matter if you guys are connected or not, because at the end of the day, that is what friends do. So there is a grief that is very heavy that comes with losing a friend. You're going to be crying yourself to sleep some nights. It doesn't matter how long it's been. There's going to be some days where you feel angry, you feel resentment, because it's a loss, and you feel like, how could you, or did it not mean anything, or how could you just walk away? But at the end of the day, when you take accountability, you have to realize that some people have tried and tried with you, and they're simply tired. Sometimes it really is always the same cycle and the same thing. And sometimes it can become toxic, and people have to choose themselves. And I had to realize that. I had to realize that sometimes I done made a few mistakes with the lack of communication, and people are just tired of that. People are just over that. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into tip number 5 on how to heal from a best friend breakup. You have to accept that what's done is done. This is now your reality, and for some of us, there's nothing you can do to change it. Honestly, it took me years to accept that me and my former best friend were not coming back. It took me years to accept that this is something that is over, and this is something that she has walked away from and totally disconnected from, and I had to do the same. Because even though I was moving forward physically, in my mind, I was still stuck in that same place of, wait, it's not supposed to be like this. It was never supposed to be like this. We're supposed to be back by now. Like, what's going on? And I had to talk to myself and say, Star, it's over. You know that song by Summer Walker, Finally Over? Like, it's over. You have to move on now. You have to move on. She's moved on. You have to move on. But one thing I can say, and this is what I learned, when you grieve a person who has exited your life, that is a result of love. When someone you love dies, you cry and cry and you grieve. When you lose a friend close to you, the reason why you're emotional, you may cry about it, sometimes you may think of them often. The reason why you may feel sad or depressed, it can turn into depression, is because you love them so deeply. And that grief is your final act of love. Last but not least, this is what I can say. God heals all wounds, and he is the best comforter. Jesus Christ is the Prince of Peace. Ask God to heal you. His word says that he is close to the brokenhearted. He binds up their wounds. Ask God to heal you. There's so many nights where I had to cry out and pray to God to heal my heart, to help me to move forward, to help me to make new friends, to help me to heal, to help me to forgive myself for the mistakes that I made that caused the separation. And God has done just that. I'm not saying that healing is linear. I'm not saying that it will happen overnight. Sometimes it will take years. But I'm now at the end of my healing journey where I'm able to reflect. I'm able to be grateful for the time that was shared. I'm able to recognize where I went wrong, and I'm able to make improvement when it comes to my current friendships. I'm able to forgive. I'm able to make peace with the breakup. And I'm at the road where I have now accepted that it is done. And I feel like a lot of people, we often feel like, oh, maybe if I reach out, you can reach out. But when a person is done, they are done. So do I encourage you guys to reach out to your ex-best friends? Yes. That is something that I did. I feel like even if they are done with you, send your message, send an apology, tell them that you love them and miss them, make your peace. Don't expect a response. Some people have already moved on and they don't want to open that door. That's okay. So they may not answer you, but as long as they see it and they know where your heart is, that is your peace. That is your closure. And you're able to move forward. And I'm here to tell you, life doesn't end when people leave you. It will get better. You will smile again. You will laugh again. You will find love and friendship again. And God will use these experiences to give you wisdom. God has to break you first in order to use you. A lot of the videos that I make on YouTube is from experience. And I've gotten messages of people literally telling me, Star, your videos have prevented me from committing suicide. Your videos are the reason why I haven't given up yet. Your videos taught me that, these friends are not for me. These coworkers are against me. That I have to let this man go. These videos that I make that may not be getting a lot of views have helped at least one person with every upload. And that's what it's about. So I thank God for this experience. I thank God that I experienced such a heartbreak, such grief, because now I'm able to help other people. Now I'm a testimony, And surprisingly enough, the most previous best friend that I had was like many, many years ago, over 5 years ago. I was a teenager back then, but before her, I had a best friend who I met in 2009. Now, we were really close as well, and we split apart in 2015. And in 2015 is when I met my previous best friend, my latest best friend. And with the best friend that I met in elementary school, who from 2009 to 2015, that's how long our friendship ended, I deleted her off my Instagram because I'm like, I don't want to see her no more because we don't talk. And I just feel like the way things ended, it really wasn't my fault. That one wasn't my fault. That was her fault. So, we stopped talking. And then after 2 years of us not talking, she reached out to me when I was going to my prom in 2017. And honestly, I was looking at her message on Snapchat and I'm like, I haven't heard from you in 2 years and you think you about to come back now? Girl, no. I was still a little hurt and bitter, so I didn't answer her. And on Christmas Day, 3 days ago, after not speaking to her for 10 years, And it's not like I just wasn't speaking to her. She genuinely had just disconnected from me. So we just didn't speak for 10 years. She reached out 8 years ago. I didn't answer. She reached out on Christmas Day 3 days ago, and I was shocked. She complimented me on my Christmas pictures, and I actually replied. I said, thank you, girl, with a heart. And I really appreciated that, because I honestly never thought that I would ever hear from her again. And I was okay with that. I was at peace with that, because after our breakup, I had met my latest best friend, the one I was telling you guys about. So I was at peace where I was never going to hear from this girl again. I was okay with that. So it just let me know that sometimes you think people may not care about you, but they will still check in. Even if they don't say nothing, you never know who's watching you online. You never know who misses you. You never know who wishes things were different. And if it's meant to be, people will come back around. If not, they won't. But in the end, God is good. I love you guys. I hope this video has helped at least one person. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. And until I see you next time, peace.